Hey, good afternoon. This is Jupiter Exile. We're live. I'm going to do a little bit of farming, and then I'm going to jump on to the Orphan of Kos. Again. Let's see. I am realizing now that the long johns I'm wearing, because I wanted to be comfy, look very weird on the camera. Whatever. Am I going to change? I don't have a lot of other... I'm doing a lot of laundry right now. So let's just try and get to it. I saw some good advice online that was saying that some of the time you budget for streaming needs to be dedicated to making clips and highlights in order to like have a condensed whoops, that's no good. Have some condensed content that captures your brand. So I spent some time before stream today putting together some highlights, and I think I made a mistake on the highlight tools because it made like probably 8 individual videos instead of one dense reel. And I don't know if I have to like download all of them and recombine them in order to get that to work right. So I need to fuss with that quite a lot and probably take fewer clips of more meaningful moments when I'm playing. I think my thought is I want to capture probably like one attempt per hour of play. So that I can have that be kind of the highlight. So if I spent 13 hours fighting a boss, I'll showcase 13 attempts in like a YouTube video. And that should be not like an unbearable amount of stuff to watch, because I think the thing here is nobody wants to sit down and watch like 10 hours of video of you fighting the same thing. So I need to find a way of making this more digestible content. And yeah, I look at my Twitch and I've got like 7 videos with the same or a similar title where I'm fighting the same boss. That's not fun to watch. So I need to figure something out about that. And like, Bloodborne's been especially bad. Most of the Dark Souls games I went through on a clip. I got stuck only for like a few hours each, maybe a couple of days, on the last few bosses. But when you get down to it, I had most of those guys done in less than a week. These Bloodborne bosses are taking me a seriously long time to kill. And I'm dead. Oops. Just trying to be daring. If I could get the second visceral on the pig, I could have used that to, like, not get killed by the other guy. Whatever. I'm not paying a lot of attention. Woo. I just need to get the baseline so that I can do some stuff. So yesterday I did a mix of orphan attempts and a bit of, what's it called? Chalice Dungeon stuff. I might sit down and do more Chalice Dungeon stuff today too, depending on how stuck I get on Kos. I don't want to lose the blood echoes I've got from killing that other pig. So we'll be a little cautious in killing these guys. Because each of these Yharnam Shades, they're good for about 2,000 blood echoes. If I get like 2 rounds of them and a total of 3 pigs, it's basically fine. It's like, I'll kill this guy, I'll get his blood echoes and the blood echoes from last round. I've got like the 7k extra. That'll be like 40,000, I think. Which is workable. I could go in for some attempts off of 40,000 blood echoes and not put up a fuss about it. Yeah, it's like 40,000. If I could get like one more pig, I'd be real happy with it. I could just get you to run. Okay. Uh-oh. Okay, well, I got killed. Because that staircase is really awkward, and my attempt to run past him got body blocked, so... that's no good. Just need to make sure I have the view up correct. Yeah. So I don't have any particular plans for New Year's right now. I think I might pop over real quick to, like, see some friends. I'm gonna see if they're free or if they're going out or what's happening. I think that closing out the year indoors is not a problem, and indeed makes, like, perhaps too much sense. Nope, don't get killed, don't get killed. Okay. So if I just get up here and kill the one pig, I will have definitely enough blood echoes. Yep. Okay, we're not going to go for the extra pigs right now. Just the one. You don't have my blood echoes. My blood echoes are probably on the stairs then. Would you like to drop me any blood vials? Yes, very good. There are my blood echoes. So we'll just grab those, we'll head on back. We'll get a weapon repair, get some blood vials, and we can get back to making attempts on Orphan. So on the Chalice dungeon, I got to the bottom of Lower Tumaru, and the boss there is a refight with Rom, the Vacuous Spider. So I might get back into that. I was a little disappointed that I can't use my Kin Hunter gem on him because my axe is still like too far behind to make it really worthwhile. I might get like barely an okay payoff for it, but it's not really the big gains I'd like to showcase. There you go, repair. But in order to finish the upgrades on that, I need another 4 blood chunks, blood rock chunks, and I've like exhausted all the blood chunks in the game. So I don't think that's in the cards. As much as I'd love for this gem that I found in like a pretty secretive-ish location to be meaningful, I think it's like a cursed Kin Hunter gem. It's like one of the strongest gem types you can get. But it's just, you know, can't use it. Because it's a triangle. This is not a triangle household, I guess. Well, anyway, let's try and put this guy down. So, yeah, I need 4 more. If I could find more Ritual Blood 4, I could unlock another Chalice dungeon. And pretty soon we'll be at the Chalice dungeon depth where we can just find, like, bloodstone chunks hanging out. Haven't gotten there yet, though. Alright. So we're going to make attempts on Orphan for at least an hour before we think about switching gears, at which point we might switch gears to Rom. So I think the most effective stratagem I've come across for the Phase 2 is going to be the running away strat for the most part. we just hang really, really far back until he does a few specific things. And the only attacks we have to really be ready to dodge are like his double dash thing. And we have to be very careful about how we're handling his leaping scatter pellets. Yep, same ol', same ol'. I'll stay out of that so I can finish healing. Pretty close to a transition. I'm gonna top off. That's a whiff. He jumped a little further than usual that time. Okay, we're close to transition right now, but he might not actually do it. Yeah, he's just on the precipice. Here we go. Okay. I didn't get the stun, and I need to pivot more around him if I want to try to get the backstab. In that case. I was thinking that the issue with that from before was that I needed to unlock. No, I need to pivot further. Because it's more out of my reach than I'm thinking. I think he might be a little taller in Phase 2. It's hard to tell. Like, he might be standing taller up. Anyway, I really want to get the clean transition, because if I have to spend a lot of time running away from him, and my second phase is a waiting game, I need it to be as short as possible. So we really want that clean phase transition. Because I hate playing the waiting game. There's 2. There's 3. There's 4. Oh, right, that'll hit me. Trying to be a little more freeform about how I'm actually getting the backstabs. That's a bad hit. Well, that'll make my transition a little less good. So we stand here to bait a follow-up. Okay, I might have been able to take that if my positioning was better. That's our 5th. That makes 6. There's 7. We're at 7 1/3, which means he wants to transition. That's too early. I'm gonna run away more than this. Need to be unlocked. Not quite. Blood Echoes distracted me for a moment. Floor Burst, he wants to change places. Throw stuff, followed by throwing stuff. There's Lightning Attack. There's 1 jump. There's a certain place to stand between those attacks that will bait him to do a third thing. Because the third thing he does is a jump, and it's what I want him to do. I'm at the border. That was obnoxiously intense. He does like another thing. Okay. That's the 1/2. That's the frenzy thing. Ah, okay. I mistook a bit of what he was doing in the timing. I thought he would whiff on the second attack. I should have just dodged. But I'm having a really hard time trying to get him to use the attacks I need him to when I'm staying that far away. He just runs around a lot and just does what he wants. And I can keep avoiding him, but like, I'm not getting any openings, so what's the point? I need to figure out a more discreet manipulation. So I loosely understand that I need to be pivoting to certain positions after certain attacks. He's doing the 1 attack kind of near me where he rears the blade up and does a cut to his left. And let's see, I've been dodging like away and against the grain on that. Nope, too early. Let's make up for it. I've been mostly dodging away, because dodging into that attack has been getting me messed up. It's got a real funky kind of hitbox on its startup. We prompt that. We dodge that, and that. Oh, I messed up. There's like a hit sequence I've loosely been figuring out for Phase 1 that gives me an extra hit opportunity, but I haven't been able to, like, cognitively do it. It's something I've done just by happenstance a couple of times, and I want to formalize it, but I'm having difficulty. So I try to bait that backhand is the, like, opening part of it. And then I want to respond to that backhand in a certain way. I think it's that I strafe the backhand, I dodge his follow-up on the backhand, and then I strafe through his, because he likes to do a rush after that follow-up, and if I strafe that rush, I think that's when I've, like, got him for a critical. This is a really nice string of attacks. He's very close to transitioning, but I haven't missed a backstab this fight. So now he's ready to change. He's going to back up. It's lightning. I've used a lot of healing this fight, but it's fine. That's the double. Okay, so the double doesn't really have a follow-up. Oh, I dodged the wrong direction on that. Let's see, what did I do? So he went up. Okay, I dodged assuming that he was locked on to where I was, but he was able to change his attack pattern after my dodge. So that one is actually not, that's not a stupid jump. That is an intelligent, that jump has decent tracking. Which is all the more reason to stay the heck far away from him. Because if I can't fool the tracking on that jump, it's not an opening I can use. Let's see. I know that him running at me with the double slash is something that I can try to counter and work with. But I know the payoff for that's not that great. Still stuck on that there, phase 2. I might have been able to take a counter there, but I wasn't so sure. Not a counter, but a backstab. Okay, there's one. Brief unlock to line it up. No thank you. Need to get out of this spot that has all of the rubble. Oh, okay. Did my dodge actually execute there? Yes, my dodge executed, but it didn't carry me out of the attack. So I might have dodged too early. He got moody. That was a very moody string of attacks. Alright, let's get back on the horse. Although we already killed the horse. He had a giant sword. Okay. I need to add it up, find out how many hours I've been trying to fight Orphan. I did take a couple breaks to work on Chalice dungeons. But BL4 Chalice dungeons are miserable, so, you know. Nice, easy start. There's one. Oh. I played myself there. I realized too late, like, oh, I can take advantage of that, but I didn't actually move to do it. Bonk. What would you like to do? What are you in the mood for, Orphan? Are you perchance massively angry? That marks 3. I don't like to take the slam opening. I find it's a little inconsistent. There's 4. as a note, the dragging uppercut is like parryable. It's theoretically one of the better options to parry him. No. Sleeping on the job. But my payoff for parries at BL4 is pretty minor. Let's get fully healed. Yeah, the run-up slap just sometimes it just gets me. Alright, there, we got to unlock so that we can adjust just a little bit to the left as we're making the attack. I think, I lost track. I think that's the 6th. Judging by his health bar, I think it's probably the 6th. That would be the 7th. The 8th will transition him because I haven't done any mediocre hits. I'm going to top off before phase 2. And there's the 8th. This will cause him to transition. We aim for just after the flaps have stopped moving. And visceral. Miss the visceral. I didn't have enough stamina for a full punish there. It all happened so fast. Full heal, he's going for lightning. Okay, I was wondering if I could just keep wrapping around him and eventually, like, get that, but he just won't give me enough time. Loosely, if he goes for scattershot while I'm that close to him, I know I can get behind him, and sometimes he'll just hang out for a moment afterwards. And I think if I'm really fast about doing that, I think I can get a backstab off. Similarly, the end of his triple slam, especially if he does the jump at the end of it, gives me a big opportunity. Like right there, I dodged under the jump, and I still had enough time to get the backstab off. That's like the #1 attack I'm trying to punish in phase 2. It's just everything else in phase 2 that makes it tricky. I think I landed about a grand total of 2,400 or 3,000 damage after the phase there. Okay, there's one. It was yet another time where, like, if I had all the consumables I wanted, I might have been able to get him. Because he would have been very, very close to dead. I wonder how other people who are like grinding for these keep their viewership up when you wind up doing the same thing over and over. Maybe some incentives in the stream. Channel points and such. I was thinking about like what I could do for emotes. When you get down to it, I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to make some gifts. Nope. I'm going to back off, need to heal. There we go. Okay, reset. Bit of stretch time. That should trigger the phase change. That was perfect. Okay. I had no idea what he was doing. Okay, that's the triangle attack. Oh, I'm dead. Huh. Which part of that... Okay, he hit me with 2 of the slams, I think. That felt like a fairly decent phase transition. I mean, I got like 2 backstabs off the cuff. He went into the second portion of his phase 2. Because from what I've seen in like other videos of people killing him, he will not do the jump triple pustule attack unless he's below a certain threshold. Yeah, I think he's got a phase 1, a phase 1.5, and a phase 2, phase 2.5. I was in the 2.5 bracket. From what I've seen, he's very unlikely to do the pustule toss based attacks in his phase 1. I think of those as a phase 1.5 attack. Camera combo. No thank you, I've had enough of that. There we go. So right now, a lot of my phase 2 handling is kind of muddling about to try and see where I can sneak in backstabs. Knowing that like I'm threading through really dangerous attacks to try and get that done. And I kind of think that's okay. If I can make it to phase 2 every single time, and my phase 2 consists of mucking about, I only need a very bare amount of consistency to actually do enough damage to get through the phase. Yeah, that's no good. Speaking of consistency, yeah, I was trying to see if I could get an extra backstab in, but I knew that opening was not good. A bit of a stretch. Okay, better. Let's see. A little further away after all. I think, what's it called? Some of the cameras I was using before this one had like a zoom feature. This camera really doesn't, so I can't focus on my face while I'm playing. Which I think is not great. I think I'm gonna buy another one. And just chalk this one up to a loss. I know the industry standard is like a Logitech for a reason. I think this is a knockoff by comparison. Like there's really, it's okay. There's really just no options at the software level. Like the driver's pathetic. I mean, I think a lot of people are getting fine results using a phone as their camera, honestly. When you get down to it, the camera quality on phones nowadays is like ridiculous. But I can't keep up with that stuff. Like, using my phone for everything, it doesn't, like, compute in my brain. It was interesting. Like, I landed the critical, and then it bounced my character out, like, a whole character length to the left. Yeah, it's a lot of, like, weird things that happen kind of subtly. It doesn't matter unless you have to be, like, really aware of your character's movements and positioning. This should trigger transition. If I could have gotten a visceral, that would have made me a happy boy. That's too early. Lightning screen, okay. You are right on top of me, aren't you? We're at the map edge. Okay. There's nowhere near enough lag on that attack for me to do something about it. That attack is basically like, I gotta counter it if I want to get something out of it. I think I really do need to just figure out the counter timing for his second phase and, like, suck it up. I don't like trying to use counters to get this to work because, like, because I could get a counter wrong in a very clutch moment and lose a fight. So I don't usually like to drill counterattack based strats, especially in, like, BL4 Bloodborne. Your viscerals are not rewarding. It doesn't even feel good to land them, because a visceral does less damage than a charged R2. And the gunshot damage is also nothing. I think my gunshot damage against this guy is like 70. Maybe a little more. I don't know, maybe his blood defense is a little low for what he is. That is a thing that's a little weird, like, damage type wise. There's, like, blood and arcane type damage, but you can only get fire and lightning paper. So on BL4, you can hardly access those other damage types on BL4. Alright, he just wants to throw stuff. Sure thing, buddy. Sure thing. What's your next trick? Would you like to take damage? Just dodging. Just keep dodging. Until the boss decides to do something else. Oh, okay. Sure. What was that? An early dodge? Is that too early for you, sir? Okay. If this was Dark Souls 3, that would have missed. Not because of the dodge properties, but because of the hitbox. On Dark Souls 3, if the hitbox was actually that big, the animation would be different. That's a compilation to try and put together. Is like, yeah, these are dodges that would have worked if we were playing Dark Souls 3, but they don't work for Bloodborne. Because Bloodborne is developed at the same time as Dark Souls 2. They have some shared problems. They don't always have great hitboxing. There's some other oddities, like Bloodborne has Dark Souls 1 jump mechanics. Okay, he's being real nice. Try and make up for all that time he spent last fight doing random crap. And now he's going to go right back to the random. Okay. That's fine. My dodges don't matter. Alright, 20 more minutes of this guy before I change gears and do something else for a bit. Let's see. Got some leftovers, some rice I gotta get through. Been thinking to myself, like, I've got leftovers to eat. Is there something else I want to eat for New Year's Eve or New Year's Day? I have to figure it out pretty soon because I'm not going to be able to go out and get stuff. But I've got some other options, like some chicken I can defrost. I think I'm out of ground beef. Making rice is super easy, but I've already got a bunch of rice. I could make fried rice. I don't have the right blend of veggies for that, really. So I was thinking, because it's New Year's, around like some new things I can do, new routines I can start up. Now, I have been meaning to get on Duolingo more and practice Japanese. I'm thinking I might do some of that on stream. Because if I take an activity that is a chore and I turn it into streaming content, maybe it will feel like less of a chore, and I will be, you know, better about it. I can get that, like, worked into the routine properly. So I'm going to be trying to do that at least twice a week, maybe 3 times a week in the new year. Just doing, like, language learning streams. I know some other people who I think I could try to compete with. I think it's easier to keep up with Duolingo if you have some other people who are on it, and you're like tracking scores against each other. Whoops. Yeah, I was watching a tutorial that was all about, like, landing the gun counters on this nerd. And the tricky thing about it is, like, it's built as a general guide, not as a BL4 guide. So the guy is able to take hits while he's working on it. I'm like, well, that guy doesn't work for me. That's one of the ideal attacks I want to be able to strike at. Oh, I did the same thing that I've done several times, and I dodged too early on his charging attack. It's really a charging attack, the pellet throws, and the lightning attack are the attacks we want to really plan around, and everything else is just kind of loosey-goosey. For my handling of phase 2. If I could bait him into doing that jump over attack more, I'd have a much easier time, like, completing the phase. And that's, like, my entire problem. I mean, my other problem is that, like, I have to wait through this tedious phase 1 every time I fight him. I think Ludwig and Maria have less tedious phase 1s, so you spend less time waiting for them to do stuff. I mean, Maria's phase 1 is really fast. Ludwig's phase 1, you sometimes have to wait around and deal with stuff. But it's a bit more dynamic. And it's pretty short. Okay, that'll prompt a transition. And take the visceral. And cap off. He didn't want to jump after that. Alright. Okay, that's the lightning yell, so we're going to run to the opposite side of the arena. So we need to make sure he has ground to cover while the lightning's moving. Just in case he wants to do something fast. Oh, okay, that drag has gotten me a couple of times. I have a hard time, like, recognizing that as a dangerous range. If I'm just purely running away from him, he won't use it, but I'm trying to bait out a specific behavior. I think that after he does that attack, I need to be further off to the right. I notice people are coming and going without commenting. That's annoying. It's cool that people are, like, grazing on the stream, but I wish they would say something. Whether it's a good luck, or like, oh, that's rough, or whatever. And you know, I need to keep that in mind if I'm ever popping in on, like, you know, if I pop in on a streamer and they've got like 100 viewers, I don't care about making a comment. But if I pop in on a streamer who has like 4 people watching, I'm gonna at least say good luck before I leave. I think that's common courtesy. For people who are slumming it in the doldrums of amateur content creation. Like, all of this is just building up repertoire and backlog so that I can learn how to be more accomplished as a streamer. It's a process, for sure. But it's a mix, because I also want to be challenging myself in like a fun game, doing something I haven't done before. And to some extent, because like, I'm trying the same thing over and over again. That's certainly make it a bit stale. And Bloodborne BL4 is definitely the hardest thing I've done so far. Except for maybe like some of the bosses, or some of the like areas really in Dark Souls 2. Because like Dark Souls 1 SL1 is easy, comparatively. Dark Souls 3 SL1 is very fair. There are some very challenging parts of it, but like the Bloodborne BL4 is straight up rude. It's like differently rude than the Dark Souls 2 SL1, but it's very, very rude. Let's see, I could practice some counter shots, but practicing counter shots on phase 1 doesn't help me in the fight. Because I need the phase 2 counters in terms of anything meaningful. Do I have the shotgun? Yeah, I've got the shotgun. I could use the shotgun on phase 2. I always feel like counter hits for me are more consistent with the shotgun. I think everybody uses the pistol. There's a couple fights where the pistol really shines. Bonk. I might also need to take time figuring out for phase 2, like, moments where I can take little shots in between things without it being a counterattack. Without it being a backstab. I don't necessarily want to focus everything on just getting backstabs in phase 2. If I can get regular hits as well, it'll improve my odds. In phase 1, taking regular hits can distort your phase transition and make something less predictable, make your transition not as good. But in phase 2, if you can get those hits, there's no reason not to take them. That was not great. Okay, we're probably 2 backstabs away from the transition. It should be 1 backstab from the transition, or he'll do it now. Okay, we should be at the transition point now, give or take. I'm gonna take that just because, but I do need to run. Actually, maybe he doesn't have that restricted to 2.5, because he used that right there. That was good. Dang it. That was very misguided. I dodged through, and he's like right there, and it's very tempting, but it's a very, very wrong decision. That being said, he goes into that long side cut almost every time afterwards, and I think he's vulnerable after that long side cut if I'm in the right spot. So if I dodge through, then turn around, dodge through again, I might be able to get a backstab on that. And if that's reproducible, that basically doubles my chances on that phase, because then I have like, well, then I have a third attack pattern that is a certifiable way for me to land the backstab. Right now I'm basically working off of 2 attack patterns to give me the backstab. There's, what's it called? There's the cut leap, which I'm getting a backstab on that more routinely now. And then there's triple slam jump. I've also occasionally got it off of triple slam without the jump, but that's based on him doing an attack in a weird position. Like, I can't bait that, it's contextual. Jump attack dodge. There we go. Completely a misinput. Bonk. 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 It's about 6 bonks to equal 1 backstab string. I've said bonk 3 times, so we're on the way. Bonk. Dang it. I was too close. I got a little bit of rally back off of that. That's nice. That's not the right gun timing. No. I was hoping he would go for 2 swings with that positioning. Bonk. Bonk. And that landed after. And a gunshot is about half a bonk. The measurements get weird when you try to dissect it and get down to it and actually math out his transition to the 9s. That's not great. Got there. That'll buy me the time to heal. And he went for lightning. Okay, that's good. That puts my back to the big area of the stage. That was very much on the dodge timing. Okay. I guess he went for the dash there? Yeah, that was the dash. That was a weird hitbox to do like a full health bar of damage, but I made a weird choice. Sometimes I'm going for unproven things to like figure out if this can work. So I'm like caught between trying to experiment and learn and trying to actually beat the boss. We're definitely gonna I'm definitely gonna switch off to the shotgun. Let's commit to that. Let's send the elevator back up. Don't leave the elevator behind. Let's see. I think I might be in a mood to go out for lunch. Because I think everything will be closed by the evening, but I might be able to go out for a nice big lunch. Kind of feeling ramen. 2 bonks. 3rd bonk. 4th bonk. Four bonks, 2 backstabs. 5 bonks, 2 backstabs. 3 backstabs. That makes 4. Oh, you can keep that going. Four backstabs. Okay, just 2 more and he'll transition, give or take. It's on the 7th or the 8th that he transitions. It's ideal if he transitions on the 8th, of course. If I count 7 precisely, he should not transition. That would be 6. It looks like he's only 1 away. I feel like I've gotten 6 and then some. Or I lost count of 1. Whoops. Ouch. That looks like transition health. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so my camera went like one way then the other, and it really like messed with my ability to avoid things. Like anytime I have a camera wrap effect, it becomes really difficult to dodge the next thing. Especially if I don't quite know the timing that the next thing's going to happen with, and I got hit by the startup of the next thing, so it's even worse. I think Bloodborne has like a leveled up camera difficulty compared to like Dark Souls 3. Because I didn't have the same problem as often in Dark Souls. Like, certainly there's plenty of cases in either game where the camera kills you, straight up. Camera's the final boss. But it is happening... It happens often enough in Bloodborne that I refer to some of the attacks as the camera combo, because I know the attack is going to mess with my camera. Going for a few more cheeky hits now. After taking a hit, I need to give the attitude a break. I knew that was from too far out. Shoot. I think I might give it just one more and then take a break and work on ROM. The other thing I can do, actually, in terms of this, is I could do several runs of the Two-Merit Chalice. The first Chalice dungeon, every boss you kill in there gives you about 2 or 3 insight. So you can run through there, kill all the bosses, and get about 6 or 7 insight. Now for a fully leveled up character, that's like a 5 or 6 minute run, and it's trivial. For a Blood level 4 character, it's fast, but it's not trivial. There's still a lot of things in that dungeon that can one-shot me. Mostly, I mean, the bosses, of course. So it's like tricky, but that's basically how you farm insight. You just run a lot of Chalice dungeons, and Chalice dungeon boss fights are basically the only way to get this resource. Which is, for the record, completely insane. Like, for all the Dark Souls games often have duping glitches going on, I think Bloodborne is the one game where I'd say, like, yeah, go ahead and dupe. I knew he was close to a transition. Okay, he didn't take the backstab. I was too early. Yeah, that was definitely too early. I was trying to, like, see how much extra damage I could weasel in, just, like, dodging and slapping, since he was very close to a transition point. But if you stay on top of him, he really doesn't actually like to change over. I wonder if I can just try to abuse that on purpose. Like, how far can we actually push him before he transitions? Let's check out forbidden strats. Is like his regular retreating attack, I know I can pretty much dodge left through it. And he loves doing that attack a lot when he wants to do his transition. Yep, surprisingly not dead. But yeah, if I want to try to stifle the transition, I need to be even more aggressive. Risky as it is. See, that was no good. I fell back on an old habit. That was a really bad time to heal. Man, it's a day off, but I haven't put on a new pot of coffee. Why am I torturing myself? This is day old. I don't mind day old coffee if the beans are of a good quality. If you're having like, you know, Folgers whatever and it's a day old, that's swill. But right now I'm working through the Starbucks Christmas blend. I usually really like the Christmas blend and the Thanksgiving blend. I dare say I can probably get... I'm wondering if I can get one extra R1 off every time I get a backstab. That was a misinput. And actually an R1 is pretty weak sauce, because I might be able to get a transform attack. That was a misinput. I meant to untransform. Okay, I had the time to dodge that, but the other thing to be aware of there is that was one of the circumstances where after backstabbing him, his arm like limply dragged me around to the front. That happens sometimes just with the collision, which is stupid. It's really awful. There's no reason I should have to put up with that, but it's a thing. Like, an enemy who's in like a ragdoll state is moving my character. That sucks. But I think it's workable to get in a transform attack after every single backstab in phase 1. So how's the damage change? We're tacking on like an extra 200 damage. I think that was a doable dodge. Yeah, I was in free action by then, so I could have dodged out. I was just reading the damage numbers instead of watching the boss. So yeah, this is the plan now. Let's do it. And I think this is inadvisable because it's going to give me a smaller margin of error on every single attack I land. But whatever. Adding on an extra 300 damage per backstab saves me almost 2 backstabs in the first phase. So that's really nice. Let's see. I don't think I can gain a meaningful change in the second phase though. Yeah, I was still able to walk out of that. And that's only possible because I'm wearing the anti-clockwise rune. So that's really tricky. Yet again, it's that I wound up in his face. I think what I need to do there is actually go for the gun counter. Because that opening attack he's doing there is gun counterable. And if I even trade, I can probably get the gun counter and the visceral. And then that will rally me back up off the trade. We're innovating. I just need to vary up the monotony of this stupid fight. So I'm really tired of dealing with Phase 1, just so that I can get to and try to learn Phase 2. So if I can make Phase 1 faster and learn like a couple of things, maybe it'll make me better at the game. Let's see. Like, transform attacks are a strong thing that I have not been doing. Like, the transform attack coming off of the charged R2 is adding on about 300 damage. Actually, it's like 200 and change. But still, a regular attack does 160. Ah. Was I free to act? Yeah, I was returned to a neutral stance. I needed to be hammering on circle to get the dodge back. This is a very, like, down-to-the-wire strat. Like, I have to buffer all the inputs to make this work. Because I basically have to be buffering, I have to buffer the transform attack, and I have to buffer the dodge back. And I pretty much have to, I'm almost buffering the charged R2 punish as well. So, we're like 3 buffered inputs deep. I don't know if I actually can buffer the dodge. I can buffer the dodge in some circumstances. If I'm attacking his back, I can buffer a dodge back, and that should be fine. If I'm attacking his face, I think I might need to buffer gunshot. Okay, no, because he just did a regular jump back there, so any buffered input would have gone awry. That time I buffered on the dodge. I was hammering circle to get it to come out as fast as possible. But that attack of his is delayed anyway, so I don't need an immediate dodge to solve that. Come on. I can't get that counter to save my life. I'm not going to go for the full spice because I'm not at full health. I walked a little too far forward there. Oh, come on. Ugh. So I didn't get the backstab, but I had already buffered. I'd already buffered something bad, and then the bad thing I buffered turned into a jumping attack as well. It's even worse. I'm going to do one more on this and then pivot to Chalice. It's like I was so close on Rom yesterday. And yet again, that fight is such a gimmick. I think I might still try with the +8 axe, because with the Kin Hunter gem, I think it might outstrip the best I can do on the Saw axe, the Saw Cleaver. Oh, whoops. Whoa, that like bounced me off the boss. Okay. It's like completely out there. So I was a little, so basically, the fact that he did the backhand there only happened because I was standing far enough to the right that he was able to land that, which is why he went for it. And after I did the attack, I did not have time to dodge. I don't think. I might have been able to on like a buffer out. Yeah. It's tricky. So I believe the +8 axe has like oh, I've got it on fire right now, so I can't clearly tell like what it's meant to be. I had it set this way for another Chalice dungeon boss. Where is it? Cursed Kin Hunters. Yeah, attack versus the Kin up 26.7%. And then I hit this as Fine Strike. That's weird. Basically, we just want Bolt and Bolt. Yeah, we've got a baseline of 170 Bolt on this, which is like the same or 10 points lower than the Saw Cleaver. But our third gem slot is giving us a 22% bonus, or a 26% bonus, as opposed to the third gem slot on this, which was giving a flat 42 and a 4% bonus, which is really hard to math out. But basically, I try Axe now. I use Axe on Kin, they die. That's the game plan. Let's see how well this works. Oh, there's an image there because there's a shop on this floor. I just haven't been able to use the shop safely because the shop is covered in like 7 guys. You know, I actually really should figure out what's at that shop. So let's try for a bit to kill all the guys and see if I can get to the shop. Firstly, though, there's a ROM spider over here. This should be a decent test subject. How much damage do I do with a head-on axe attack? Okay, it's about 400 from like a clip of the axe in his legs, which is still his vulnerable part. But 400 damage I think bodes pretty well. Okay, so there's the messenger bath that I want to look at. Okay, yeah. Why are these guys... Why is the design for them that they aggro at any distance? It's so annoying. So I've got 2 varieties of guys. I've got the cloaked ones and the uncloaked ones. Pretty sure the uncloaked ones are being summoned by a different person that I have not identified at any point in time. Well, the cloaked ones are. The uncloaked ones seem to be getting called along by the one that I can see with the bell. And I know that going after her will aggro another enemy as well. So, am I able, perchance, just to run over here and look at this? Oh, that's a summon. That's not a messenger, but that's not a shop. Well, then it doesn't matter. Yeah. Okay, I thought that was, yeah, because it's just a summon, who cares? Oh, I thought it was something else. The shopkeeper who's supposed to be in some of these chalice dungeons, I think is supposed to be Patches the Spider. I haven't run into him yet. I don't know if he appears in the scripted chalice dungeons, or if you need to find him in a root chalice dungeon. I think he probably only appears in root chalice dungeons. Alright, let's try and get some work out of this Kin Hunter axe, and see if it's worth any of the resources that I put into it. Yeah, I thought that the summons were all red, like this one. Well, I spent an insight on nothing. That sucks. Okay, it's 200 on a face hit. 190 on a transformed face hit. Yeah, that's pretty lethal. If I clock him from behind, that's good to go. Alright. I just want to get down to business. Okay, I think our damage is actually lower. That's a burst. So, meteor tosses, which are not lethal, apparently. So our damage is lower. We've got the caveat that we can hit at a longer range, which is kind of neat. Ram has got a lot of spiders hanging out with him right now. I should be able to hit him along this side right now. Okay. We need about 2 more good attacking strings to take him out. That's meteors. This is from the floor. That's from the floor. Should very easily randomly kill us. I hate that attack so much. Like, passionately hate that attack. That's from the floor. We just casually work away at some of the spiders that happen to show up near us while we can. We can't even do that safely. Burn through a lot of stuff. Okay, that's from the floor again. Okay. So we've got a few spiders taken out. There's a few spiders that are still in nasty positions. If they would stop repositioning, I could actually close on the boss, but they're kind of matching my movements. I'll take advantage of that, thank you! Meteors. That's the burst, and I'm way too close because I got stuck on terrain. Yeah. Okay. So this this axe is doing a bit less damage, so I'm going to change it back over to... I'm going to change it back over. So even with this really powerful Kin Hunter gem, it doesn't compete with the Bloodrock benefit. Just the benefit of being a +10 weapon. And bloodstone chunks are insanely expensive. So this is where we're paying for having both the pistol and the shotgun at +9. If we didn't have those both at +9, then we'd be able to get another weapon up. Bloodborne is very, unfortunately, weapon restrictive. I just need to make these into anything else so that I can have these gems available for this. There we go. And I'll switch the weapon out, and we'll get back to it. This fight is such an awful gimmick, but you know, we're close, we're close. So I'm thinking at the 2-hour mark on the stream, I'm going to go back to trying to fight trying to fight the Orphan of Kos, and I'll do a few more attempts on that, and then I'll break for lunch. I don't know what time it is. I'm accustomed to eating a late lunch either way, it's fine. Let's see. I might change out of this if I want to go out, sit down and get some ramen. I'll think about it. So for the first round, we really want to clear out all the spiders, because I want my full allotment of quality time with Rom. I want to be able to, like, throw 2 full stamina bars into him without interruption, so every spider's got to go. Also because spiders don't despawn between phases. Oh, okay, I get killed by a web shot. That's new, but whatever. Yeah. My real goal is I want to clear everything out for phase 1. I want to do, for phase 2 and 3, I only want to clear the bare minimum number of spiders so that I can get adjacent to him and do like 1 full stamina bar of R1s. Because I only really need to do 2 full stamina bars of R1s after he's in phase 2 to finish him off. So I don't need a ton of time for that. Oh, come on. So the real reason we want all the spiders gone in phase 1 is because we want it'll diminish the number of spiders that are around for phase 2. Alright. Full stamina bar. What the? Oh. I took damage on him coming back. I triggered another teleport, which is not ideal. Okay, that was very weird. Okay, let's see. I've got a clear path on his left, I think. Not for long, though. So I need to clear a path on his right. It's like too many spiders around right now. We use a lot of vials per attempt on this. Dang it! Yeah, several spiders. Ugh. Yeah, that's the problem with trying to rush this, is that the head slap will get us a lot of the time. And I'm not sure how to anticipate the head slap or respond to it unless I'm being a lot more cautious, and I really just need to get in more damage. So I think that I need to pay a bit more attention to the health threshold where he starts the first teleport, and make sure that I'm maximizing the damage before that. Let's grab those for no reason. Oh, weird. Yeah, Twitch chat does not always want to cooperate. That's a lot of spiders. Ouch. Okay, now on to Rom. So, I'm thinking the sequence is probably something like attack, transform, transform. Okay. I triggered a hit stun that delayed his teleport. That feels pretty clutch. Okay, I fought off a decent number of spiders over here. Floor burst attack. Always keeping one eye on Rom while we're trying to, like, get these spiders to do something committal. Something, like, stuck in my eye. It's Rom. Rom is stuck in my eyes. Okay, I need one of you guys to actually come a bit closer. You're kind of standing out in the middle of nowhere. It's really dangerous for me. Yeah, see? Now I have to deal with meteors. Thanks to you. And he is really, like, sidled up in that position. Okay, so I've actually dealt with every spider this time. Right? Yeah, looks like it. Nope. Come on now. Dang it! I hate that attack so much. there's so little time to actually deal with it. And it's not like you're not guaranteed safe close to him or anything like that. Okay. So I think I did something like light transform transform, light light transform transform, and that got me the stagger. I think I'm gonna do like charge transform transform, and then see where I'm at. I don't know. I'm just kind of throwing stuff at him, but I need to be throwing staggering attacks, basically, like the heaviest stagger I can think of. And then once I've staggered him, then throw a mess of lights, see how low we can get him. I think it's loosely possible to kill him without him actually throwing any magic. I'm getting a little glare on the screen. I don't usually play at this time of day, so... Kill you. I think there was like one spider left. Is there another one back there? No, there was not. Okay. Okay. Shoot, that was way worse than my usual. And I got meteored to death. I heard the meteors coming through the second time. Let me actually just check real quick. ROM quick kill. I wish you wrote... Okay, let's see. Okay, here's one that's actually specific to the Chalice. Chalice ROM. What's he doing here? So I know this one's based on a Beast Blood pellet, and I don't have that to spare, but I'm going to try it anyway. I think I can come close to it. So I'm assuming he's going to kill out all the spiders. Yeah, he takes some time, kills all the spiders. Yada, 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 yada. Okay, here's the bit where he's going after Rom. He takes a Beast Blood. He's actually attacking him in the face. Oh, he's attacking him in the face unarmed to build up his Beasthood. Yeah, he's going to maximize his Beasthood before he actually, like, commits to the combo, so he has the highest possible damage. That's funny. It's actually pretty clever. Okay, and then he gets over here, throws on some bolt paper. Okay, he does a light series, and then when Rom starts to teleport, he does a heavy attack, and then he goes back to lights. And then after Rom's teleport, he does R1, L1, and then finishes him off, because he gets a stagger off the L1. I'm not going to have that same kind of scenario, because I don't have a whole bunch of consumables to burn on this. If I had consumables to burn, I would throw them at bosses I cared about. But I think I can still get the stagger at about a similar time. So when he starts to teleport, I hit him with a charged R2, then go back to R1s. and we'll see how far that gets him. I still have to kill all the spiders in phase 1. That part is not changing. Look at that spider blinking into existence. How rude. See, no consideration for the PlayStation 4's graphical limits. Like, I'd love to see a love to see a PC port so much, because there's honestly some things in the game that don't work right. So everything those spiders do in that attack sequence is actually very, like, sound rich. It's very nice. Okay, I didn't quite get the stagger when I did it because my damage was lower. Ouch. So yeah, that quick kill then is pretty solidly based on using a Beast Blood pellet and kind of cheesing with that. And that setup was also using a physical weapon instead of a lightning one, so that he could use bolt paper, which means he would have a harder time killing the spiders. Okay. But I did get a stagger on Rom during his transition at one time. So I think I just need to throw some transform attacks in on my standard strings when I'm, like, prepping for it. So I think if I get in at least 2 transform attacks, maybe about 4 transforms, if I do transform attacks during both strings when I'm spending out all my stamina, I think that'll get me the stagger. Which still doesn't quite put him in, like, the kill range, but it should shorten the fight. And I really don't want to have to kill all the spiders every teleport. That's what makes the fight hard. Well, it's that and the fact that his, like, floor burst thing is super random, and his face slap is instantly lethal. Which are very annoying. Okay, so let's try it. 1, transform, transform. 1, transform, transform. 1, transform, transform. Heavy. Couple extra lights. Well, we did really good damage. I have lost complete track of the boss. He's over there. Okay, we triggered 2 teleports. Which is why we have summoned way too many spiders right now. Okay, so that was very strange. Okay, so it didn't seem like we triggered the stagger, but we did push him into second teleport. Which is like the close but no cigar result. I'm going to give one more shot of this, and then I'm going to go back to Orphan. I just need to break it up a bit. I just can't be fighting the same guy the entire time. That's all there is to it. And then I'm going to find out whether or not that ramen place is open. Could be closed. Very easily be closed. They always jump after they do that side-to-side thing, so they're pretty easy to deal with. Oh. I think their damage is thrust type, which is why they do extra damage if I'm in an animation when they hit me. It's counter hit properties. Blech. Alright, I'll come back to ROM later. Let's reconfigure my weapons so I can get back to fighting the Orphan of Kos. Alright. I used a lot of blood vials fighting ROM there. That might have shortcut my ability to do more attempts here. Yeah, I've only got 27 left. So I need to take these back down to tempering. Tempering. I say I've got a temper. And, yeah, I don't have any consumables to make this any easier, do I? I do not. Man, wouldn't it be nice if I could play the other half of the game. Whee! No, it's like, the consumables you use in Bloodborne are way more impactful for your damage than the consumables in other Dark Souls games. And they're very limited. There's like a distinct feel that is promoted by that. I just really wish there was an effective way to farm them. You know, there are some NPCs that drop fire paper. Maybe I need to try and figure out how to farm fire paper directly instead of trying to farm, like, Blood Echoes or Insight to buy it, because the purchase price is nutty. Or maybe I just need to run Menzies Pigs for a straight, like, 4 hours. And then buy fire paper with all that. That's another way of doing it. I imagine that's probably what other people have actually done to have a lot of resources and consumables to make attempts on these. Is they just suck it up and farm Blood Echoes for an absurdly long amount of time. Or rather, an amount of time that I think feels absurd, because it's boring. Now, I think the trick is, honestly, that you just get like one kin Cold Blood and then duplicate it. And I think the people who are doing like 200 runs of a boss using consumables every single time, I think they're just using duplication to get the resources they need. .35 damage from a gunshot there. It's because I switched to the shotgun, so I didn't hit as many pellets. Oh, come on. I dodged, I'm not sure why my dodge happened that way. I think I got a camera angle shift based on terrain that was behind me, and it caused my dodge to be more left than forward. There's so many things that can go wrong. There's a lot of context that goes into your inputs. You can't just hit the buttons. You can't just hit the buttons. I think I just want to hit the buttons and have it work. Yeah, I think it's that I was very close to Kos, and it adjusted my camera to make me not, to make my camera view not be obscured by that. That's the real reason to not be using transform attacks, even though you theoretically have the time after a charge attack to do it, is that you need to use that time to, like, walk the boss out to the correct spots. That's your time to reposition. So we're going back to the lazy stable rendition. That gives us a lot of time to reposition. We've got a sliver of stamina that could be used for more damage. But it's probably better... Oh, I took a step backwards. So I needed to dodge through that. That was a step backwards at, like, just the wrong time. There's two. There's three. There's four. There's five. I think it's 5 and a bonk, which means that at 7 he'll transition because of the bonk. 5 and 2 bonks. Six and 2 bonks. Okay, 7 and 2 bonks, he's in transition mode. Okay, he didn't do the cut immediately afterwards. Okay, so it's something like that, where he chooses to do the big yo-yo swing. The yo-yo swing is definitely, like, kicking my ass in phase 2. I don't know if I've ever successfully avoided that attack. Because it's delayed and it's huge. So, let's see. He does, like, the run to the side, and he's doing a cut after running to the side, and it was after that cut that he did yo-yo swing, because I was in the range of that. So, let's see. Part of my reaction has been, when he does a side run, run the opposite direction. I could try running towards him instead. I was thinking about going for a counter on that setup, but I don't know how consistent that's going to be, because my counter timing has been super whack. I haven't been able to get one to save my life, really. And that's even when I know what he's going to do. I'm struggling to get counters off. Let's maybe be more aggressive with the gun. See if I can make some things happen. Too far away. I didn't commit soon enough. Okay, that was really weird. So I didn't dodge through the attack? I guess I didn't dodge through it. And then it, like, blasted me out to the side, which is super weird. It makes me question, like, if it's possible for it to send me flying in that direction, like, how on earth is that hitbox actually coded? If it's possible for it to send me flying like that, but in other contexts it, like, causes me to crumple or something, is it that there are 2 or 3 different overlapping hitboxes? And one of them has a reaction where it sends me flying? Is there, like, a pseudo-random behavior around character death? And I'm just seeing, like, a different bit of flavorful animation that the game chooses to play when it knows that I'm dead. Good question. I'll just heal that up. Okay. So I didn't get the backstab. I knew that was late to go for a backstab, but I thought I was safe when I saw his attack start up. I'm like, oh, he's not moving, it's fine. No, it was late. It was a bad idea. I want these hard fights to feel like the fight with Artorias and the fight with the Fume Knight, where I felt like I was under pressure trying to scrape by. This fight doesn't feel like that. And I think the reason it doesn't feel like that is because the ways that I'm dying are like, my backstab was like 2 millimeters to the wrong direction. Now I die. Like, Nameless King has a crumple, but it's based on just hitting him enough. If I were just hitting the boss and he went into like a crumple stun thingamajig, I wouldn't feel the same way that I do right now about like these missed backstabs. From that angle, that attack works in a really random way that I am not prepared to deal with. There's actually a lot of time to respond to that attack, because if you respond to it late, he will do the follow-up. That's dead. Let's see, how should I have responded to that? I have no idea. He pivoted strong mid-attack. So let's see. I dodged away from that. I think I was in a neutral stance and I could have dodged, but I did not realize that attack was going to like 90-degree pivot into me. So I needed to dodge again immediately afterwards, possibly unlock and then dodge. Yeah, I was trying something where I was just going to stay a lot closer to him during Phase 2 and see if I could get in more opportunities. Because the waiting game is just killing my brain. I'm so sick of it. I just want to hit him more. And I think the premise of like creeping around behind him in the second phase is fairly good, because his turnaround attack is pretty slow and always hits on his left. Plus, I triggered the triple slams, which is like something I need to happen anyway, and I'm not getting the triple slams to come out when I just run away from him. There's like a very fussy manipulation to try and get him to do that attack. And I'm not landing on it when I go about this in a standard way. But yeah, doing this fight makes me like really miss the fight with the Nameless King, things like that. Oh, come on. Yeah, that fight is just like no frills, dodge correctly, land a couple hits, and then you land a few hits and you do get a crumple and a backstab and all this other stuff that you can like play around. Okay, that killed me immediately. I was wondering how many times he was willing to just do a pivot, and it seems as though there's like It seems as though he's not willing to pivot forever, and you can kind of... I got a backstab off of that. He just went for an attack afterwards that I wasn't quite prepared for. I haven't had to deal with that attack in close quarters yet. The triple throw. Theoretically, when he goes up to do that attack, there are like 3 lines going out from his position, and I need to understand where those lines are, because I dodged along one of those lines, and I just need to dodge out of the line instead. I had enough time. If my dodge was more delayed, I could have probably responded to that correctly, but since he was up in the air, I assumed he was just going to slam on me. I'm not sure how to read the difference between those attacks yet. Oh, what happened? Okay, my quick step didn't work. It just didn't work. It just like popped me up into the attack. I think the 2.5 mark is probably about what I have the patience for, and then I'm going to go get food. You guys still on 7 days? Yeah, I'm definitely going to go out for something before I... oh, no, not the tree! Christ alive. Almost got killed backstepping into that tree. Again. Once I've died in every possible way, the boss will have no power over me, and then I can win, right? Yeah. I finally got the counter for once, and I didn't react to it properly. And then since I knew I had reacted to it improperly, I tried to get the chain counter, but I didn't get the second counter. Because if you, what's it called? If you get the counter on that attack, and you don't get a visceral, he will always go back into the same attack, which you can counter. So there's like a theoretical funny loop there, but it's really difficult to actually, you know, get to work. So, yeah, so I've got some more lights coming in for streaming. I think I'm going to get a new camera, because I don't like this camera angle, and especially I don't like this zoom level. This is not zoomed enough. This camera does not have a zoom feature at all, which is lame. Alright, where am I? Okay. I'm alive for now. There we go. Way too much healing to spend later. Wow, okay. That won't even do me the courtesy of hitting the boss. That was in his face. Like, I know that was the wrong thing to do, and it's like the bad thing to be doing. I'm like caught on lazy inputs. But the least it could do is hit the boss. It's seriously getting me that, like, if I had a stock of consumables, I think I would have killed them by now. But consumables are absurdly expensive in this game, and I don't want to spend 8 hours farming to have a stockpile. It's just really obnoxious. Come on. Come on. There we go. That's a good boy. That will miss. Since I was walking towards him when he started the attack, I didn't actually need to step forward any further. Okay, my camera got, like, completely messed up for a bit there. I got, like, halfway inside the boss. Oh, man. I'm gonna do one more. I'm really tired of fighting this guy. I am so tired of fighting this guy. I think, what's it called? Like, basically, for fighting Ludwig, you can get Ludwig in behavioral loops without too much trouble. Maria doesn't like behavioral loops, but there are, like, openings that she will present pretty routinely. Phase 2 of Orphan is very, like, patterning resistant. And then he does things like this, where he just camera combos me, and I super hate it. I'm really tired of fighting against the camera to deal with this boss. And the little things that make this inconsistent. And there was a little bit of that against Maria, because Maria's hitboxes are super weird, and they don't always match up. Like they don't always even make sense. You can sometimes avoid her attacks by standing in her face. And just being still. And there are other times, like, you can't avoid her attack from, you know, mostly behind her, because she will pivot and hit you with the side of an attack. And there was like the Ebrietas dash, that if you actually dodge out of the dash, you could take more damage. Because somebody thought the dead center of the attack should do less damage than the sides. Yeah, I really liked Bloodborne a lot before attempting this challenge. And now I really don't like Bloodborne. I think I like Bloodborne better than Dark Souls 2, because the level design of Dark Souls 2 is still cancer to me. But I like Dark Souls 1 better than Bloodborne. Okay, I think I figured out the counter timing on that attack. That's kind of cool. That was not the counter timing, I just got antsy. How neat. I wasn't dead from the first attack. That was a bad transition. That was like the most HP he can have for the second phase, and I didn't get the backstab. Alright, I'm going to call this here so that I can get some stinking lunch, and then I'll figure out what I'm going to do with the rest of my day. Everybody else, have a happy new year. This has been Jupiter Exile. I hope we wander again soon. And please send me some suggestions of like other games to jump into, because I am pretty tired of this. I'm not sure I'm going to finish this run.